Now, I know that in saying that, I might have just flipped some of you out because you thought, all right, all of a sudden, I've been following on with the Bible pretty closely and I just jumped off into a New Age ditch. Here's what I would say to you. In 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 22, just go read it later on, you have the church that's kind of fighting with each other there. And some people are saying, well, hey, I follow Paul. Some people are saying, well, I follow Apollos. He's a really skilled orator. Some people say, well, we follow Peter. We follow Cephas. And Paul writes to him when he says, hey, nonsense. All things are yours. Everything is yours, is what he said. And he goes on and he says, if it's something that I taught, that Paul taught, that's good, it's yours. If it's something that Apollos taught that's amazing, take it, it's yours. If it's something that Peter taught, well, hey, that's yours too. And you don't have to pick and choose. You can take all of the best of all of the most incredible teachers. Then Paul does something that seems somewhat odd to us. He says, all things are yours, whether things of life or death. And he continues going, and he lists off all of these areas, and he says, everything of the cosmos is yours. They're all Christ, and Christ is God's. All this is yours. And when he lays out these terms, he's using the words that we would use in our terminology for biology. He's using the same words we would use for zoology. He's using the same words, the same Greek words we would use for thanatos, for death. And he says, if there's anything that's ever discovered out there by anybody, if there's anything that's discovered in astronomy, if there's anything that's discovered, now get this, in astrology, if there's anything discovered about how the body works, if there's anything that's discovered about how death and dying happens, if there's anything discovered in the Bible that's spiritual by these great, incredible teachers that you have, he says, all of this is yours because it's all Christ. There's nothing that's true that exists outside of the scope of what is Christ's. If it's true, it's Jesus's, and by virtue of that, Paul says, it's yours. If it's a lie, it's the devil's, but if it's true, it's not the devil's. Do you see how that fits together? And so if you find something that's natural medicine, Paul would say, take it. If you find something that's spiritual that uplifts you, take it. If you find something that's an incredible song that boosts the mood, it's yours. If it elevates your frequency and helps you walk in health and wellness, rip it off, take it, because it's not stealing if it's true. Truth is embodied in a person, and all that stuff is his, and by virtue of that, it's all yours.